I got Miss Jennifer Anderson. She is the C-Spire Chief Marketing Officer, and she's here to talk about C-Spire launching Connect and Protect initiative, which I think we can all get behind as a good thing. So welcome, Jennifer.
Rebecca, thank you so much. It's so great to be here today.
And I was just talking to you off air just about my 11-year-old now getting tablets from the school. So many other parents and caregivers are now sort of navigating this new educational norm, which is schools using technology and as a way to communicate with kids, also do all of their work and all that. So this to me is just good timing, and it's just something we need to keep talking about, and more innovation needs to be happening to sort of protect and connect our kids. So tell us about this. This is Connect and Protect. What is this about at C-Spire?
Absolutely, Rebecca. This is a major new wireless initiative for us. And Connect and Protect is really about giving parents the tools to be able to parent the way they want in a digital world and empower them with more controls for their kids when they're online. And when we talk about Connect and Protect, we're talking about three things. The first, it's a kid's wireless phone plan. It comes with nationwide talk and text. But what's really important is what it doesn't come with. We give kids no cellular data. That means no apps, no social media, no web browsing, no streaming video over C-Spire's network. We also, with Connect and Protect, have created a set of interactive, easy-to-use, free tools for parents to be able to, as they're setting their child up, whether it's their first watch, whether it's their first tablet or smartphone, give them some free, easy, interactive guides to help them set up and help protect their children when they're on non-cellular networks. So Wi-Fi at home, Wi-Fi out in the world, making sure those devices are locked down. One thing, Rebecca, we hear from a lot of the parents at C-Spire, parents in our customer base who we work with really closely, and other parents we've been talking to, is that there is no one size that fits all for parents when it comes to technology. And so our focus at C-Spire is giving parents the right level of control, empowering with them with how to use those parental controls to help monitor and restrict the content their children are looking at, track their children's location, and really help keep them safe online at any age.
You know, and I can, as I'm moving into this sort of era with my 11-year-old, and she does not have an independent cell phone, but like I mentioned, we now have the device from the school, so we're already there. We haven't had those conversations there. You know, I think for some parents, because you grew up with it without like really parental controls, I'm not sure what I should be controlling. Like, I mean, it's almost like you don't, because I am a grown adult who doesn't wander into weird places, I have morals and ethics. And so, it's weird to sort of put on that hat of like, what if I was just exploring? I grew up with the internet as it grew, right?
Yes.
And so as I was growing my own, but with them, they're coming into a fully developed social media, internet sort of world, and so it's hard to think if I wasn't me, how would I get in trouble?
Yeah, and Rebecca, for better or for worse, I think that is a great way to be thinking about it. It is changing so rapidly, this digital and social landscape. And one of the things that we monitor really closely is how are children and other actors looking at ways to figure out, okay, how do I get around some of these controls?
Right.
How do I break it? And being really creative to close a lot of those loopholes and help parents protect their children when they're online, because it is changing extremely rapidly. One of the things we're seeing nationwide, on average, about 70% of children by the time they turn 12 have gotten their first smartphone. And Rebecca, when I hear you say, yes, this sort of grew up around a lot of us. This wasn't around back in the 80s or the 90s when phones were phones, and really the worst thing.
I was in college when I got Facebook. Not that I was smart on many different levels at that age. But I wasn't 11.
Exactly. It's changed so radically. We've seen so much about the harmful impacts and some of the dangers that come with social media. So making sure we're giving parents tools to help protect their kids in the way that makes the most sense for them. We recently undertook a big research study of about 400 families in Mississippi because we want to understand what are parents right here experiencing, dealing with, how can we help them? And the thing we heard across the board from parents we've talked to here in Mississippi is that, again, there is no one size that fits all for every family. Parents, so a lot of parents feel like they know best. They know what is right for their families. They want to have that kind of control. And it's tricky, as you said, when the landscape keeps changing and what worked today may be evolving tomorrow. It makes such a big difference to have a partner or a set of partners to be able to help you navigate that landscape and make sure you are able to help protect your children when they're online.
And I think one thing that parents need to recognize, especially those with littles or like who may feel a little more apprehensive, it's coming. So like we didn't have a choice. She went into the 6th grade and she got her not her laptop, but she got her iPad. I mean, it was here you go. And so and she had been introduced to technology prior to that. I mean, we're not Stone Age people. It just wasn't her own independent sort of device. It's just the decisions that my husband and I have made. But so like if you think you can shelter them completely or just, that's not the answer either, because they are going to have to find a respectful relationship with technology at some point or they're going to go off the rails.
I think that is a great way to put it, Rebecca. It's finding that respectful or kind of that healthy online usage of technology and tools. We know there is a lot of good that can come from technology, but not every form of it is right for every child or every adult in some cases. And so it really is about finding that, giving parents those right tools to be able to manage that, and then helping children and having that dialogue with your children about what is right for your family. What are those expectations for your family when you guys talk about healthy online usage, and what does that mean? And what does that mean in the context of schools? Again, and C-Spire has definitely been a big proponent for teaching computer science in schools and using technology as a way to help advance our children, our communities right here in Mississippi and beyond. But again, it comes back to how do you have that healthy online usage? How do you build in some of those habits? And how can you use technology for good and build some guardrails in place for children as that landscape continues to change? And as you said, they grow up.
They're definitely going to have to navigate it. I mean, it's here. You can't. I mean, there's definitely an age. I think less is more in that way. But as they start getting to middle school, to high school, and on, they're just going to be left behind, at least in certain educational paths. And so they can't be scared of it. They have to, sort of be taught how to use it respectfully. I think is one way. Words we use in our home anyway. If a parent's feeling very just overwhelmed, Jennifer, can they come into a C-Spire store and be like, help?
Yes, they can and they should, Rebecca.
Okay, because I wouldn't even know where to start with somebody would have to walk me through it first.
Absolutely. So we've tackled this in a couple of different ways at C-Spire with Connect and Protect. Absolutely. For parents who have questions about devices, watches, phones, about some of the parental controls, they can come into a store. We actually just did a big series of in-store events this past weekend, basically like discovery days for parents, getting hands-on with them with some of the different parental control apps, some of the setup, whether it's an iPhone, whether it's a different type of phone, helping parents be able to set them up. We've got another one of those events coming up in November, where one weekend in November we'll be doing a big set of events in all of our C-Spire stores to help parents out. We also have at cspire.com/connect and protect, we've got a series of resources there as well. So for parents who are interested in Connect and Protect, we've got some guides that help walk them through how to set up some of the technology. Again, whether it's an iPhone, an Apple Watch, an Android phone, really focused on meeting parents where they're at and on the devices that their children have, whether they are just using them to talk and text and actually connect to what matters in life, their family, their friends, or when they're ready to do do more and get online and even get into social media at some
point. And
point.
it can kind of grow with them, and you kind of loosen the reins. It's like training wheels, and you sort of back them off, and then hopefully, at some point you got to let them fly. But, every kid and every sort of family is different sort of in that. I do recommend if you're getting it for Christmas, go ahead and get it and get all of the controls set up before Santa comes down. Because you're not going to after it's been opened and enjoyed. We've seen that happen occasionally as well.
I was going to say, Rebecca, yes, I have definitely seen that also. As soon as it gets into someone's hands, that's a tough thing to pull
it back. So
yes.
Just have it set up and ready the way you want it before they open it or get their hands on it. And if they want to get their hands on all you just said, Jennifer, where do they go?
CSpire.com. And they can find out more about Connect and Protect there or into any of our wireless stores.
We'll come back and let us know about the November event, okay?